would be right eventually. All right, here we go up at the top of the map. Won the last game. He is Mr. NS Hoso.
NS Hoso jjakji.
He almost made me spit out my Gatorade.
That would have been bad, man. There's a lot of electronics around here. Would have been worse than when Sella sprayed champagne all over the camera guy when they won the team league last season. All right, over here on the left side of the map, the bottom left side of the map, it is our blue Terran player from the Team Prime. Can he keep his Code S hopes alive?
MarineKing Prime win.
Well, even if he loses, he
even if he loses, he still can go to the up and down. Or will be.
Guess we can answer that question right now, huh?
Yep.
All right.
But yes, obviously the gold at the end of this rainbow is the Code S spot, which you acquire if you win the finals of Code A.
And speaking of gold, the gold in this map is actually very easy to take and hold if you can take and hold the center of the map with tanks and things like that. You see a lot of players, we haven't seen a ton of games on this map so far, but what I've been seeing more than anything else is a lot of players will try to take the middle of the map and then take that gold behind it as their third base. And from there, you can get a big advantage, take a lot more bases, especially when you spawn top and bottom like this. It's a little bit tougher if it's side to side, but in these positions, it's pretty good if you can hold that middle of the map. I'd even say it's a little bit better for MarineKing. For him, the gold is a little bit back, a little bit more defensible.
Yeah, it is going to be a little bit tougher for MarineKing to. I'm sorry, it's going to be a little tougher for jjakji to take his third, because if he doesn't go for the gold, his third is going to be close to MarineKing's base. Yeah. So MarineKing a little bit better spawn position here.
That's true, yeah.
And he has gone for 1 gas, whereas jjakji has gone for a 1 barracks expansion build.
Nope. Run SCV, get up the ramp.
And factory going down now for MarineKing as well. jjakji scouts exactly what's going on. He's going to have to build a bunker.
Oh, he's going to try to hide the gas at the edge there. Whoa, doesn't quite make it. It's okay, though. There's plenty more where that came from, Ultra. People are like, no, Doa, it's a life! A human life. They're Dominion, though, man.
Oh, look at that. They're, like, under the spotlight.
That's right.
It's kind of cool.
Makes it kind of romantic a little bit.
It's very romantic.
Meet me under the spotlight. Don't tell the commander.
It's weird. The graphic settings on this computer are a little different, so it looks like they're underneath like one of those spritzer spray things that keeps you cool. Like outside
you gotta wash the armor off sometime.
Exactly. It's like it's a car wash for marine armor.
Stuff can get pretty rank after a little while.
And he's going to switch over the reactor to that factory, so MarineKing is going to be producing reactor Hellions. He's actually followed this up with an expansion of his own, but it's going to be later than jjakji's.
Yeah.
And we will see if he can do any damage with these Hellions. jjakji is producing a bunker at his choke point.
Yep.
To protect against this.
MarineKing going for a pretty quick second gas. So not quite the mirror builds we saw last time.
Nope.
By any stretch. There's a tech lab on that barracks. Excuse me. I'm really curious to see what he's going to use for that.
There you go. You got your wish.
Combat shields. I don't have to be curious anymore. So there are some pushes you can do in TVT that involve a lot of Marines very early with combat shields. It can be a little bit tough to hold off. It's pretty good against the early Hellions that a lot of people have been using. So I'll have to see how it works out for jjakji. MarineKing, on the other hand, I would have to assume is probably going to be going, either for Banshees or for some sort of mech play. Viking for MarineKing right now. So MarineKing a little bit worried about Banshees himself, too.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't have the air advantage last game. I want to make sure I have it the entire game long this time.
And there he shows the Hellions. He's going to run straight past. The Marines are in a line. Oh, no!
Oh, wrong line, though.
Oh, he doesn't shoot the line, but they're still clumped up really badly. These Hellions doing tons of damage.
Yeah, so many Marines, though.
And, if you get one more shot, you could have killed like 4 more Marines. But some of those Marines are at 3 health.
Yeah, a lot of those Marines are on low health right now. Was it worth 4 Hellions early on? I kind of don't feel like it was.
Well, he lost, he only lost 3 Marines.
Yeah.
So, now here's the thing though, those Marines can't really engage in battle, some of them, because they're so hurt.
Yeah.
He put the most injured ones in the bunker, very, very smart of him.
Oh, absolutely. One thing with that is I feel like MarineKing was going to try to just run in there. He thought, oh, maybe you're teching really hard. You won't have a lot of Marines. I can run in there, kill them and kill some SCVs, but kind of had to make the best of it, once once he got in there and saw it was just a bunch of Marines.
Now, MarineKing is making a Raven right now. He is going to have a bit of a tech advantage in that sense. If it does come to a battle, sort of a smaller battle, a point defense drone can actually make a really big difference if it's Marines versus Marines, although we do see a tech lab going down. Actually, no, hold on, sorry. Yes.
Well, the nice thing about what MarineKing did with that push with the Hellions is kind of prevent jjakji from moving out for a little while. He's probably going to move out pretty soon here, but you know, he was able to, MarineKing that is, was able to delay that timing push with combat shields at least. Now it's going to be a timing push with +1 and stim instead, and probably going to add on a couple medevacs as well.
Yep.
Still a good timing.
Yeah, what I was trying to like kind of think about before, I was just looking around trying to figure out what jjakji's strategy was going to be. He is actually going for mass Marines. He's got a Marauder out as well, so he's basically going for all bio here. And I was trying to see before if he was trying to switch up into mech of his own, but he's not. So those Hellions of MarineKing are actually going to be very, very effective against this mass Marine style that jjakji's going. Now, there are a few Marauders out, and they're going to have concussive shells.
You know,
and stim.
MarineKing doesn't have Blue Flame yet. He just started it.
Yeah. That's the only thing that's going to save jjakji's units.
Oh, it's going to be close.
Oh, no,
the medevac!
Oh, no! MarineKing loses a medevac full of Hellions.
Yeah, nothing going right for MarineKing yet this game.
Oh, my gosh.
jjakji taking a lead now because of that medevac getting sniped.
Nice positioning by jjakji to have his Marines over there.
Yep. And I'd say that's a good decision to move out right about now. It fits in with his timing pretty well.
Yeah, man, because now MarineKing used to have a ton of Hellions. He still has, okay, actually just made a few more, so now he has up to 9 again, Hellions, which is actually enough to roast this army, but he's gotten a couple medevacs out to heal up those injured Marines, so...
Well, I mean, it wasn't a bad idea for MarineKing to try to drop. It just didn't work out. You know, it just happened that he lost his medevac. He does have... Oh. Does he have siege mode?
He does not have siege mode,
no siege mode yet from MarineKing. He will at least prevent jjakji from dropping like that, but, you know, I feel like jjakji could just push into the front, but the thing is that jjakji doesn't know that MarineKing doesn't have siege mode yet.
Right.
So he's hesitant to do that, of course.
Yep, it looked like he had loaded a bunch of stuff up in a drop, and he was thinking about going in there, but he saw that MarineKing was in position to stop it, so wisely fell back.
Absolutely.
And jjakji just positioning around the map now. MarineKing barracks kind of sees what's going on.
Siege mode on the way from MarineKing. If he can hold this off a little bit longer, he's going to do much better against it. Whoa, that was close.
And gets that barracks into the red. Actually polishes it off very quickly.
Yep.
I think he stemmed at the Vikings, but he might as well use it on the barracks if you've already stemmed.
Yeah. Why not? So MarineKing obviously meching right now.
jjakji obviously going bio. He's got a ton of medevacs. 6 medevacs, whole bunch of Marines, and a smattering of Marauders as well.
Well, he's going to need to push really, really soon because siege mode is almost finished for MarineKing. If he doesn't push like right now, it's just...
And it's too late, actually. Yeah, siege mode is going to complete before he gets there, but he's loaded up everything in all 6 medevacs. And MarineKing is trying to move into position to stop it. The Hellions are there to catch everything. Oh my gosh, an absolute slaughter with the Blue Flame Hellions. The tank's coming in as well.
That is not good at all for jjakji.
Oh my god. I don't think MarineKing even lost a Hellion in that.
That was like when the evil genius drops his subordinates into pools of liquid hot magma.
Well, actually, he probably lost some Hellions there, but...
Yeah, maybe like a couple.
Yeah, Vikings chasing the medevacs all the way back. Even polishes off a medevac in jjakji's base. jjakji has 4 Marauders and 4 medevacs.
Well, MarineKing's like, well, I guess I'll just go kill you now. And jjakji's going to try to meet him in midfield, maybe before he's not quite ready. But I don't know. I feel like MarineKing should push it. Well, MarineKing knows he's got a big advantage right now. Whether or not he decides to use it or he decides to sit back and back her up, we'll see. No, he's going to go for it.
He's going for it.
He's got plenty as well.
jjakji has barely nothing to stop this.
Yep.
The Marauders are there, but as soon as he sieges up, that will be the end of any chance jjakji has in breaking this army. SCVs coming off the line to their deaths. Again, using SCVs against Hellions. Tanks unsieging to get a little bit closer in, but the Hellions may finish everything off already. The Marauders doing a lot of damage, though.
jjakji's
Not
Planter's
quite enough.
Peanut man, he just got roasted.
He did. With that point defense drone there, the Marauders were not quite enough. And MarineKing slaughters everything.
Yeah.
It looks as if MarineKing is going to be pushed back just this once, barely.
Well, he
but
did the damage he needed to do.
He did exactly. He killed all of jjakji's SCVs, all of his army.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine if jjakji does hold this off from MarineKing, because he is going to be so far ahead now. Let's take a look at the worker count. Yeah, 28 to 74. And make that even less now. More Hellions getting in the base.
Oh my goodness. Let's
Gonna
drop
kill
some
those
mules in front of these
too.
Hellions.
Yep. Have some mules.
Feed the Hellions. MarineKing literally has 3 times the worker count that jjakji has now at this point.
MarineKing, though, I mean, still trying to make something happen. Be better to kind of pull back at this point.
And MarineKing can kind of do whatever he wants right now. He could slow push into jjakji's base. He could take the map. He could do a little dancing, a little song.
That's right.
He could open up a trendy coffee shop downtown.
Good, man. There's a lot of those here in Korea.
He could win in any of those fashions. And
well, what he really needs to do is stop sending individual units and finally doing that. Yeah. The thing with going mech too is that you can't really stream reinforcements in like you could if you were going bio, because there's just going to be less units, you know? So they're coming in, getting taken down piecemeal. MarineKing doesn't know about this base. Does it really matter? I mean, because he's so far ahead in the worker count right now. MarineKing's got a lot of SCVs at that natural.
Yeah, we're talking about he actually is oversaturated at this point.
Yeah, he's got 86 SCVs, and that's okay. I mean, that's actually something we're going to be seeing a lot more in TVT. So many SCVs are getting killed in TVT right now that you're going to need to just overmake them and account for some being lost to Blue Flame Hellions and things like that. MarineKing gets in there and sees it anyway.
Now.
Yep.
He was thinking, okay, why is jjakji still in the game? He must have an expansion somewhere. I'm going to go see where it is.
Yeah, so jjakji's not out yet. Very, very far behind.
jjakji did force a cancel of MarineKing's expansion in the bottom right, which if he'd gotten that, then he would have been able to saturate it right away, and it would have been fine. And jjakji positioning around, trying to use his mobility to his advantage.
Yeah, he's going to need to scramble. He's going to need to cancel that. Yep. And now, that's actually a pretty scary force for
Actually, is he going to repair the orbital?
He has to, man. He's
siege
repairing
tech up.
Whoa, that was a close one.
Did you see that? The tank even like turned to fire.
Yeah. Very, very close call from MarineKing there. Roasting a lot of those Marines.
So jjakji doesn't want to be out of this yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that you can still be a lot more positional. MarineKing did waste some units there, which gave jjakji the ability to kind of power off his bases that remaining. Bio's a lot cheaper.
He's going to go in and drop on top of the tanks.
Too many tanks. That is going to be the end of NSOSO jjakji. Maybe, okay, maybe not. I totally called that.
No, he actually didn't have the tanks up behind anymore, and he's going to take out this extra base. MarineKing.
Oh my gosh, is this actually happening?
Almost threw away his games against Yu-Gi-Oh! Is he going to throw away his games against jjakji?
I don't know, man. This might even things up a little bit.
Oh, tanks are not sieged up. He needs to be sieged.
Well, SCV's trying to repair.
SCVs and Hellions coming out to support.
Probably better to actually leave those things unsieged at the moment. Oh man, this is so strange.
And MarineKing is losing a lot of forces here. He stims in with the Marauders. Target's down.
SCVs are repairing each other and not the tanks. Huge miscontrol by MarineKing at the end of this game, or maybe not the end.
And he actually just lifts everything up and is going to get out of town.
Wow, okay.
And jjakji, I didn't think I'd be saying this, is ahead in supply right now.
Well,
that is actually, wow.
Well,
so I was talking about how MarineKing can do anything he wants to win this game. Well, he could also do anything he wants to lose it if he wanted to, apparently. He has that within his power.
I don't know what to say, man. MarineKing in a very tough spot right now. He lost a lot of those mech units in that push. Maybe
and he lost a third of his SCVs.
Yeah. Still pretty far ahead, but the game is more or less evened up now.
Yeah, jjakji is consistently making extra SCVs out of all of his command centers, so he's been catching up slowly and steadily.
Has to be very frustrating for MarineKing, too, to go from that position being so far ahead.
Oh, there's a drop in the main, though. He's going to try and do some damage. Marauders and Marines, I don't know what he's hoping to accomplish here exactly.
Well, he's going to maybe, if he had controlled those a little bit better, maybe could build some tech labs. Going to get a couple Hellions here.
Yeah.
Oh, and a huge drop on the unprotected tanks of MarineKing. Dropping them right in the middle of the tanks, though. Not the best place to drop those, and all those units get annihilated pretty quickly.
Yeah, he could have done that better if he'd done a rolling drop and dropped them more consistently on top of the tanks. MarineKing just took the advantage again and is now deciding he's done. He wants to push out and drive this home.
This Hellions getting a little bit too far ahead, though. He needs to be careful. MarineKing needs to be very, very careful with this push here. He's still ahead, but we've seen jjakji has a great macro. Things are looking pretty good for MarineKing right now, though.
jjakji's desperately trying to make more barracks, but it may be too late. MarineKing, this is the second time he's been in the front there. jjakji throwing away tons of SCVs. Again, another absolute slaughter to those Blue Flame Hellions. And jjakji has no units in his main.
Yeah, things are a little bit different.
Nothing left to throw into this battle. And again, MarineKing has double the supply of jjakji. This may be the end. MarineKing tried to throw the game away, but jjakji would have none of it.
Now, yeah, jjakji is going to lose his natural here. Going to try to go for a counterattack. We can see him flying on the minimap down with some medevacs.
Actually gets caught. And yes, he's got one last desperate counterattack. He's trying to catch reinforcements, but they're just getting slaughtered. His main base is going to be under attack here in moments. In the middle map, this is the last army of jjakji. His final 4 Marauders, each with 2 medevacs to their own. Yeah. And there's the end. That was the nail. That was the last nail in the coffin.
It was
jjakji loses
close
the last of his SCVs and GG's.
It was close, man. It was closer than I thought it was going to be. MarineKing knows it.
Relieved.
He's like, I almost threw that game away.
Yeah, man.
And this is exactly what we've been talking about. Yeah. He's winning, but not by much.
Yeah, exactly.
Scraping through again. He's getting to the semifinals. Each win has been a struggle for MarineKing, and NSO jjakji is going to the up and downs, but he has done this season for Code A.
That's right.
Wow, very exciting final game for these two players here.
Yeah, so MarineKing playing really scrappy there, but eventually bringing out the win. jjakji had like nothing left.
Yeah.
And I was like, MarineKing can just do anything he wants to win, and instead he just kind of
there was that moment, after MarineKing came in, did a ton of damage at the natural, that he was just sending in probably about 10 or 12 units just one at a time.
Yeah, he was just sending them in. He's like, he's so dead, I can just A-move everything I have. And no, you have to kind of build up and still do one more concerted attack.
Yeah, you can't really do that with mech. Yeah.
Exactly.
And MarineKing is a player that I feel like he's a little bit newer to mech than some of the other Terrans might be. That he kind of tried to play that situation like you would play if you had Bio just rallying a bunch of guys in there. And, because obviously we saw right after that, jjakji was able to produce a ton of Bio off a small amount of gathers and a small amount of buildings, just because you can produce units so much quicker in Bio than mech. And, it almost cost MarineKing the game. But, he was able to hold off the pushes and win. He's going to the semifinals.
Yep.
Wow, man. That was an exciting third game.
That was exciting. And, we see again how things are changing. Things are probably going to change more towards the mech style, because the mech style just is when played right, very effective against Bio. We saw the first battle. jjakji basically just got destroyed.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, when MarineKing was under attack, he sent his SCVs in, and they actually helped defend. When jjakji was under attack, he sent all of his SCVs in, and they just died.
Well, let's take a look at our brackets.
But yes, here's the results of today in our final bracket.
Yep. We've got Slayers Ganji versus Slayers Tej. It's going to be a team kill semifinals for that team. Either way, there's a Slayers Terran in the finals of Code A this season. And then in the bottom bracket, FXO Leenock versus MarineKing Prime. That is going to be an awesome match, man.
That's going to be great, man.
And I believe those are going to be best of fives, too, I think. In past seasons, the semis have been best of threes. I think last season
we'll have to double check, but I believe they're best of five.
They are going to be a best of five. Yes, awesome. I love it. That's going to be great to see.
It'd be a pretty short day if there was 2 best of 3s.
Well, it's going to be awesome. 2 Slayers Terrans going against each other in a best of 5, and then Leenock versus MarineKing. That is going to be an awesome day. That's going to be next Monday, guys, a week from now. Don't miss that.
And
I can hardly wait for that. I'm so excited, actually.
Then, of course, the winners of those are going to face each other in the final.
Yep.
So, Slayers Terran versus either Leenock or MarineKing. Probably Leenock.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love Code A. I feel like the matches in Code A are just as good as Code S by any stretch. In general, there's some here and there, but there's some in Code S too. So
and we were talking before on the way here that about how like in Code A, it's their chance to like make it.
Yeah.
And so there's kind of a lot more emotion on the line as well. And by the way, here's tomorrow's matches. Remember, we're gonna have an early set. Huck and Killer. I think both of them each had some kind of scheduling conflicts or something.
Well, Huck was in America
Huck was out of town last week. Yeah,
so it's a little bit earlier.
Rescheduled it to
1:10 p.m.
1:10 p.m. And that's going to be a freaking fantastic group. Those players are all so good.
Yeah.
And in the evening, our normal Code S schedule, we got Byun, Zenio, ASD, and Puzzle, a couple new Code S players in there.
Puzzle's going to be interesting because he was a winner of Code A last season. How's he going to do in Code S?
And he's really, really strong. And then, of course, the other group, Trickster, Ryung, Alive, and Top. Again, another couple new Code S players in their group as well.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Trickster versus Ryung, actually. Ryung is such a good TVPer, and Trickster is such a good PVTer, I feel. That'll be a match I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely going to be here at the studio.
It'll be fantastic.
I'm going to be a fan tomorrow for those Code S groups. I love casting the GSL, obviously, but I still enjoy being a fan just as much. I come to the studio and watch the games. It's great to be a fan of the GSL, too.
It certainly is, man.
Yeah.
And if you're a fan of the GSL, make sure you add GomTV on Twitter so you can hear about any of the updates. Usually if there's like a change in schedule or if there's a change in format or there's a new awesome show called Project A that comes out. You'll hear about it first on GomTV's Twitter, so add @GomTV. I'm @MoleTrap. This is @DoaSC.
That's right.
And by the way, if you haven't checked out Project A, the VOD for the first week's episode is up. You need to go check that out. It's on GomTV.net. It was actually hilarious.
I'll tell you how to find it, too. They actually moved it. If you go to GomTV.net, you can go to the video section and then the GomCam section is where you can find Project A now. They moved it off the main page. So in case any of you is wondering where that went, that's where it went. Thanks for joining us again, guys. Thanks to Pepsi and G-Skill for sponsoring the GSL. Again, I'm Doa. With me is MoleTrap. It's been a ton of fun casting with you today. See you next time for Code S. Have a great night.